Hi, I'm Kyle Wilson, former amateur MMA champion with over 10 years experience training across various martial arts. In this video, I'm going to share some great solo drills to help you improve your performance in sparring, in a competition environment and overall reaction time. These are skill-based drills, so as well as building our reaction time, we're going to be building our skill. If you go and search on the internet for reaction-based drills, you'll have a lot of trainers telling you to throw tennis balls at walls and catch them with the opposite hand. Yep, them drills might be great for building your reaction time, but at the end of the day, when you get in that ring or that octagon, you're not playing a game of catch, you're going to be trading leather. So in my opinion, it's best to combine your reaction training with your skill training, so you're building that muscle memory and getting the most out of your workout. Especially because time is precious to all of us, so let's make the most of it. So without further ado, let me demonstrate some of these drills. In my opinion, the absolute best drill you can do to improve your reaction time is use the double end bag. They say punch bags don't hit back, but double end bags do. So obviously it's quite simple, basically a football on two pieces of rubber string. As you punch the ball, obviously it creates tension in the string, it bounces back towards you and gives you something to react to. These are really good for improving your defense, so teaching you to evade punches by slipping, pulling back, moving in and out, etc. These are also quite inexpensive pieces of kit, and they don't take up a lot of space, so it's definitely something you should have in your home gym if you have the privilege of having one. So I guess it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really need to go into detail, but let me show you some of the techniques you can use and practice with this bag. Number one is improving your slipping. So if I punch this bag with a straight punch, generally it comes back to me on a straight line. What's a common defense to a straight punch? A slip. When we're slipping, typically you want to slip to the outside of the punch. What do I mean by that? Well, let's pretend that this jab is coming from an orthodox fighter. So if I'm an orthodox fighter here, there's my jab. You want to slip to the outside. So you want to slip in this direction where I am not. If you slip to the inside of the punch and I throw a big cross, you're going to be putting your body weight onto the end of my punch, which is effectively going to double my power and be bad news for you. So when I'm slipping here and it comes back on a straight line, I want to push my body weight over my lead knee slightly, round my shoulder, and move my head to the outside of the punch. If this was a real punch, I almost want the glove just to graze my ear. It doesn't matter if I make my opponent miss by an inch or a mile. A miss is a miss, and it's good news for me, bad news for them. So another movement we can practice on the double end bag is the pullback. The pullback is typically a counter used for straight punches and gives you a really nice right hand counter. So a pullback is when a fighter is leaning away from the punch. So they're putting their upper body away, leaning back, putting their weight on this back leg, like so. Some fighters do this and they'll drop this front hand, but as they do that, they'll round this shoulder to protect their chin. Because I've loaded up all the weight on my back leg, this allows me to spring forward and land a really nice rear hand counter. The double end bag is also great for practicing your in and out movement. So, when I'm moving out of range of a strike, I always want to make sure that I lead with my back leg first. I don't want to lead with my front leg, because if I'm moving my front leg back first, it means that I'm raising my centre of gravity, potentially bringing my feet together, and it means that if I take a shot, I don't have that rear leg there to ride out the shot. I'm probably going to get dropped from here. I always want to make sure I have a nice wide base, a nice low centre of gravity, because it's going to help me if I do have to eat a shot. So when moving out of range and the ball's bouncing back towards us, should be rear leg couple inches, front leg couple inches. Same as when I go forward to re-engage with my opponent, front foot first couple inches, back leg first couple inches. So out rear leg, out front leg in, rear leg in. If I couple this with using the ball, so imagine that as it's coming towards me, these are punches and I'm moving out of range and then back in range to attack my opponent. So this next drill is sound based. So when we hear a particular sound, we're going to perform a particular technique. So I like to use an app on my phone called Interval Timer, which allows me to create a circuit. I create a circuit full of 10-second intervals. At the beginning of every interval, my phone will give me a buzzer sound to react to. When I hear that buzzer sound, I perform a particular technique. In my instance, I'm going to sprawl, but you could change the sprawl for whatever technique you want to work on, whether that's a punch, combination, kick, shooting a takedown, or so on. The beauty of this drill is that because you've trained your ability to hear and react to a particular sound, when you're in a competition environment, you'll be used to listening and reacting to your coach's advice. I like to perform this drill in a shadow boxing environment, but you could also do this on a punch bag if you wanted to. I'll show you both variations. If you're watching this video, I'm going to make a bit of an assumption that you know what a spar bar is. If you don't, it's basically a padded stick on this special hinge which can get attached to a wall or on a punch bag apparatus. The padded stick spins as though it's a punch coming towards your face, and you've got to react to it by either getting in and out of range, bobbing and weaving, etc. I haven't used one myself. They look like really good pieces of kit, but they come with a price tag. So I've made a cheapo version. So, took a pull stick, stabbed a screwdriver through the end of it, and then fed a shoelace through so I can tie it to my punch bag. The idea is, as I punch my punch bag and it moves, these sticks are meant to replicate a punch, and I have to either bob and weave underneath, get in and out of range, or you could even use this to practice timing your takedowns off your opponent's shot. So as the stick spins towards you, you hit your level change, penetration shot, and hit your takedown. Having said that, I've never found punch bags as good apparatus for practicing your takedowns, but give it a go yourself. If you feel comfortable doing it, it would make for a great drill. So, I've already touched on slipping, pulling back, and getting in and out of range. So for this drill, I'm going to expand a bit more on bobbing and weaving. A bob is a vertical drop, a bit like a level change when you're hitting your takedown. So what makes a good bob is having your hands high, and you're going to bend your knees, keep your posture straight, and just drop a couple inches. So if a punch is coming towards your face, it's just going to glide over your hair, and then you'll pop back up, ready to counter. What makes a bad bob is hinging at the hips, bringing your chin forward, and looking at the ground. You're just asking to be hit with a big uppercut, so don't do that. It's important you keep your eyes on your opponent at all times. A weave is basically a bob, but with this U-shaped motion at the end. So you can come up either to the left or right, ready to counter. So you bob first, and then the weave is the recovery, where you're coming up to one side or the other, ready to counter. So, for example, my opponent's thrown a big rear hook towards my face. I bob, I weave, so I come up on the open side, and then I can hit them with a counter shot and make them pay for trying to punch me. So, with the weave, it's not necessarily just as simple as coming back up in this U-shaped motion. If you wanted to, you could also add a step onto it to create more of an angle on your opponent. So once you've hit your bob, and you decide on which direction you need to weave to, you want to lead with that side leg. So for example, if I'm weaving to the left, I should lead with my left leg first, follow with my right, and then once I've took that small step, weave up in that direction, and then I can throw my shot. Same thing if I'm weaving to the right. Bob first, lead with right foot, follow with the left, and then I can throw my right side counter. Allow me to put this all together on the punch bag and show you what I mean. On that note, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Even if you've saw the drills before, hopefully you've picked up something from the technical breakdown of the defensive techniques I've shown. If you have learned something, please press the like button below and subscribe for more martial arts related content. Thank you for your time. Means if I take a shot, I don't have anywhere else. Shit me up.